शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना सारा जग अंधा, काटे कौन मोह का फंदा। शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा, शब्द बिना बिरथा सब तंदा। शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा, शब्द बिना जीव बंधन बंधा।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang titled The Truth About the Mind, subtitle The Concept of Free Will or Choices in Our Human Predicament. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced disciple of a perfect living master. This recording is a continuation of the previous satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for the enlightening satsang. We will now go through the questions put forward by the seekers. On the topic of free will, the first question, is free will fixed? If we can change it, will we ever want to do that?
Well, free will from human level is exercise free will, means free will with limitation. So on human level, we can make choices. For example, you can go left or you can go right, according to what you want and what you design at that particular moment. But from higher perspective, above the karmic realm, right, at the soul level, we actually doesn't have free will. So therefore, free will is already pre-written. What we're going to choose at that time. So therefore, free will for the soul is fixed. And if we can change it, and no, actually you can't. Because the factor of free will is already written in your DNA, in your environment, written in your own subconscious. Then, when you're going to make choices, it's based on all of those physical, mental factors. You will end up choosing the same thing as is written for you in the karmic pattern.
Speaking about choices, tell us more about leaving choices to chance. So, for example, you can flip a coin, and by flipping a coin, you can make the coin provide you with the decision, because it's always a 50-50 chance, right? So, yeah, tell us more about that.
Well, yes, you can flip all the coin you like, but at the end of the day, you are the one who doing that, right? Who has to live on that choice. You have to do that. So everything is pre-written. Even the chance that you take is already pre-written in the higher perspective. But from human point of view, because we are ignorant of what happened in the future, right? We don't have knowledge about that. Then it's quite fun to take chance. So sometimes we make a game out of that. We gamble, we gambling for these chances that's gonna happen in life. For example, you want to be millionaire, let's say. You go to casino, right? And you want to take chance to be rich, right? To be millionaire by playing in the casino. But actually, being millionaire or not, whether you go to the casino or not, if it's in your destiny, to be millionaire, then it shall be done according to your karma.
Do animals and other living beings have free will? For example, when a dog chooses which hand it will get, its treat from, is the dog using free will?
Just like in the first sign that I previously told all of you, because every created being within this planet and this lower karmic universe, we made from elements. So the complexity from the dog to human is different. Dogs are mammals, right? So they're made from 4 elements, which in the element is not including free will for them. So they live like a karmic being, a karmic creator, that they only make choices in their instinct, according to their instinct. They don't have the process of thought like us, like, oh, okay, I go for that color because I like this color better. So I'm going to eat this treat because it's interesting, They don't have that. They simply just react to what you offer to them and pick up according to their instinct. But human beings, we have the 5th element called hukam by Babaji, or called free will by Itwaji, And this free will is giving us the ability to make the right or the wrong choices. And this is not based on our instinct. It's based on our thought process. It's based on our DNA. It's based on our environment.
Yep.
What you're going to choose. So yes, dog doesn't have free will. Dog can make choices, but that's not free will as the human doing free will. Because being human, as in the satsang I said to you, we make choices in order to gain merit, the spiritual merit. And when we build this merit up, then one day the enlightened being, such as Holy Master, Perfect Saint, and Living Master will show up in our life when we have sufficient of merit. In my own culture, they said that it's a prestige. When you reach that level of prestige, then you can meet up with a very high being that can introduce God to you, that can introduce the Almighty power to you, and it can, and that being can put you on the soul path. With this path, will lead you to your own higher original self that's beyond this time and space. So yes, based on this free will, so humans have opportunity to making boon, making spiritual merit to get out of this samsara.
Moving on to the next question. How do outside factors, such as society and biology, influence our free will decision?
Yes, the outside factor and our biology influence, like our DNA, right? And the liking of our parents, grandparents, it definitely affect your free will. Because scientifically, they make rediscovery in the DNA. They can take the DNA out, examine. They can even tell that, DNA of this person, he tends to be a smoker, a drinker, even without knowing that person. And sometimes they can take the DNA out and can even say like, oh, this is the DNA of the criminal, right? This is the DNA of a saint. So DNA is like a record from in the biological self that written down what we have been doing since the beginning of time. Since we, let's say, incarnate into this physical form, we carry the story written in our DNA. You know how we develop what is our preference, from your great grandfather, from previous generation that you cannot count anymore. You already sometimes completely forget about them, but they still live on. They still live inside your own DNA. And that determines your choices. So you're going to shoot most likely very similar to your great-grandparents, and you will choose most likely like your mother and father. And also, you will choose according to your environment, your friends, your brother and sister as well.
Okay. I think this next question you already answered it. Is free will implanted in our DNAs? So I think you've already answered that. We'll move on to the next one. If we are biologically programmed to, for example, be addicted to something such as smoking or drinking due to our genetic makeup, can we break away from this addiction?
Yes, because this DNA is biological, right? It's bio means it's related to your physical body, right? If you raise above your emotions, you're at the level of intellectual mind, then the mind can override this habit. You can train yourself by being more intelligent of the choice you choose. Let's say like, oh, you know that drinking and smoking is bad for your health in the long term. You can get lung cancer, right? You can get a liver disease. You can destroy your mental capacity because you smoke and you drink. And when you come to know about that, when you educate yourself, then you have some kind of knowledge or wisdom not to do that. So the intelligent mind will stop you to start to drinking or smoking. So that also, according to humans, is human evolution. The next generation have to be better than the previous generation. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how human evolving by education.
Okay. I think this is also an interesting question. Are we responsible for our actions if the actions are already programmed in us, for example, in our DNA? Then the question is like, are we responsible for the actions?
Okay. So, according to the law of karma, about the cause and the retribution, right? That maybe they want to know, they mention about this in that context. Ishwapuriji said that when we come into this world, we adopt three kinds of karma. The first one is collective karma, and the second one is destiny karma, and the third one is new karma. The collective karma is the karma that we did in the past, and also the karma that is laid out for us in the future to fulfill. And the destiny karma is the karma that we born in this life to be this person, be in this family, and look at, look like a particular way, and also think in particular way. So, so on this collective karma and destiny karma is already pre-planned for us. So it depends on the action that we made, right, at that time. Is that we plan in our mind for that to happen, or it just happened to you? If anything, it is unplanned and happened to you. It means it's part of the collective karma and destiny karma that you have to fulfill. If it's like that, you just react to what comes to you, that's not new karma. It's just the closing down of the old chapter of karma that pay off in this lifetime, and that is happened to you. But if it's something that you plan, like, for example, the neighbor made you upset and angry, by dump the garbage in front of your house, right? And you get upset, right? You're not letting go. You doesn't recognize that, this is happened to you for a reason, and let go. You're not. You hold in your heart. You feel angry. You talk about that. You tell your wife, your children, say like, okay, tomorrow I will dump the garbage in the neighbor house to get, revenge. And if you think about that, then you act upon that from the existing karma, then that's new karma. Then yes, that's the action that you have to be responsible in the future. Let's say, when you dump the garbage in the neighbor ground, the next day, they call the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, you have to be responsible for that action. You have to explain to the police. Maybe you will have to get fined, right?
Yeah.
And causing fight with the neighbor. So it's really important as spiritual practitioners that we try to letting go, right? We try to be understanding and forgiving to other people, and understand that whatever happened to you, it happened for a reason, good or bad. If it happened to you, just accept that, and go through that with good attitude, right? With a noble thinking. Not, get upset and angry and, create more events out of that. Because that's how samsara works. It's how the endless cycle of rebirth happens. Because we cannot let them go. We create more lifetime just to fulfill that thought, that lustful, greedy, or revengeful thought. So yes, you can train yourself not to be slave of your emotions, not be slave of your lower mind. You can actually educate yourself by looking at everything in the bigger picture. And for initiate, as Master promised us at the time of initiation, that he take care of all the collective karma, meaning he only leaves you the destiny karma in this lifetime, one lifetime to fulfill. He burned out all the karma from your past, like millions of births. He burned all out. He canceled all out, and also all the future life that suppose you have to come back and fulfill that. So living only right now, this lifetime for you to fulfill. Let's say this collective karma is 60% of your karma, and then the destiny karma is 30%. So the rest of 10%, that is the new karma. And that's how new karma works. Every time that you use your human free will to act upon something that creates effect of the new karma, and the record go directly to new karma record. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's why lifetime after lifetime can create. So even you are initiate of a perfect living master, you think that you say, okay, master saying that they burn all the karma, all the collective karma from the past and the future. They all burn out already. I only have destiny karma to fulfill.
Mm.
Yes. But if you're lousy, you're lazy, and you not sincerely practice to raise above all of these karmic realms, you still very much operate in the karmic realm, still get angry, upset, lamentful when anything bad happens to you. You create a new karma. So at the time of passing, master gonna say like, right, yes, I already delete your collective karma, but you didn't raise above the karmic realm. You still very much just like anybody else, but you have a better chance because you initiate. But still, I will take you to reborn to another life because you have created new set of karma in your reservoir. So on that, you have to come back. But Master will say that next time will be better for you, better circumstance. You will born in a loving family. You will born in initiate family. You will be right away from young age, knowing the perfect living master and get initiation. Then the soul will say, okay, master, I messed up, I'm sorry. But next time I will try my best. So most of us are like that. Being initiated, we're not safe. You still have to practice every day to try to raise above your karmic self, to see everything from master level, to see everything from God's perspective. Then at that time you are safe. You don't create the new karma. And that's the meaning of living a karmic free life. But it doesn't mean that, now master initiate me, I have zero karma. No, it's not like that. You still have 30% destiny karma to fulfill. But the difference is that when you meditate every day, you think of master every moment. You not create the new set of karma. That's the true meaning of a living karmic free life.
Let's move on to the next interesting question. Can our DNA and genetic makeup be changed in the higher levels? I'm thinking the higher levels as in the higher inner region levels. For example, can a bald person grow hair, or can a person change the color of their eyes?
So this is a mystery, right? Sometimes the mystic in Himalaya, they can actually change their physical form totally, right? From a very old person one day, the next day they went in the cave and meditate, and the next day they come out young as a teenage. This case is happened to Haidegan Babaji. That's why he's very famous saint from Himalaya, and people still know about him until today. So in one level of super consciousness, as I explained previously, that's some kind of power within the origin of the mind, very high thought. like the beginning point of the mind, that you can actually manipulate time, space, object like that. But as a true seeker, we're not allowed to show the miracle like that. We not, because things like that will only keep your attention outside, and you waste all of the energy, you waste all of your power to nonsense things that is not gonna help for you liberation in any way, right? Yes, you can meditate in the mindfulness part and reach the point of super consciousness easily if you really devote, if you really sincere. But what is the point to perform all of these miracles? Because the king of termites is still termite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you invest and also in this karmic realm, so what you try to prove? What is the point of perform that greatness in this, lower realm, which not gonna give you anything? One day you're gonna leave it all and go back to your own origin.
So let's move on to the next question. This is with regards to non-human intelligence. Can artificial intelligence with free will exist? For example, can a robot be programmed to control his own fate?
No, because the way we create artificial intelligence is very limited with elements. Like I said, like the complex of life and the consciousness in this planet is according to how complex of the elements you made of. So artificial intelligence, I would say, they might made from only one or two elements only. So they don't have the fifth element like human. They can look like us. Like you can craft a rock to look like exactly like human, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can put some kind of program in there that it can talk back to you,
Mm-hmm.
and and you can put all the data so it have memory. But actually, we will just like human. No, it's like a basic life form, and it's not as great and complex as a human being. So no, they will never ever have free will. They can't exercise their own free will. We can make them look exactly like us, but they're not gonna have soul.
Yeah.
And because they don't have soul,
Okay.
so they cannot make a connection to God, just like us. So that's why, on that, right, they cannot control their fate, because it's the life of the machine. Machine is machine, You can make it alive at a point, but it's not alive as a God-created being like us.
Is seeking or attaining a higher state of consciousness also programmed in us?
Is seeking or attaining the higher
state of
state
consciousness.
of consciousness also programmed in us?
Yeah.
Yes. As I said in the previous subside, I said that the main reason that humans have this free will, only because in us that's an urge, that's like a want and need, that we want to seek something higher, something better. We always, every day, very obsessed of, make ourselves better, improving ourselves, improving our health, improving our life, improving in our job, improving in our own thought to be a better person. So we are the only being, the humans that have this kind of urge, that this kind of need, that we want to be better. Reason why we recognize that within ourselves there's a greatness inside ourselves, and we want to remember again what is that greatness and how to exercise that power. And that greatness is simply the soul, it's simply the God that living inside us. That's why, you see all the hero things. You feel connect to those heroes because we all have that kind of mentality. We have that kind of superhuman in us. But the superhuman is actually within our consciousness, the God consciousness. It's not in the physical form. So there's no point to become superhuman in the physical body. You should be strive to be better and be superhero, superhuman in your mind, in your consciousness.
Okay, and this is the last question with regards to free will. Is free will and God's will the same thing?
Yes, from God's perspective, free will and God will is the same thing. But from human point of view, it's different thing. Because free will is something within our control. Like Ishwaji said to his friend, you have free will. You can choose between tea, coffee, or nothing. So yes, you can exercise free will here. You can't say that, oh no, I don't have free will, right? You can still choose, and you actually forced to make choices, daily, momentarily even. And from human point of view, God's will is something else. It's like a bigger plan for us to fulfill. It's like, something that human cannot control. For example, if today it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. We can't use our free will to say to the rain, no, please not, rain. Please stop raining. I have to go outside and play with my family. No, you can't do that because the rain is part of God's will. You understand? You can't interfere that. But if it comes to your personal self, right? Conditioned choices, you can use the free will within that limitation, and every time you shoot, you learn. You learn something like, oh, okay, if I shoot this and that, oh, there's a better way. So therefore, I chose better way. And you learn next time, you will shoot this with no doubt, not even thought.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. Tune in to the final part of this series in the next recording. If you want more information about Easter Asia, please go to www.easterasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. Thank you for listening.